everyone. I know it's been a while, but we've been really busy these last 2 weeks, so I've got a lot to update on. So I'll be making a few videos. So the first one is going to be Paisley turned a year old on May 27th, and that'll be her update. So on her birthday, I've got video of it I'll show. We took her to the park and we had a picnic, and then we went to ride a train, a little local train, and she loved it. She had her well baby checkup that day, and she is 30.5 inches long and 26 ounces or 8 ounces or something. I don't remember. I don't have the sheet right in front of me. We're actually at a little splash pad here. I'll show you. Let me see them. They're all. Carson's out there with Rusty somewhere. Paisley fell asleep on the way here, so we get to stay in the car. Anyway, she's doing really well. She says cracker and dog and mama and dada and duck, and we ask her what the cow says. She'll say moo, and she'll do ba for sheep. And I think those are the only two she knows. She tries to do the other ones, but they're a little harder. What else? She's walking full time, of course. As far as solids goes, I actually have a confession. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to solids. So if it's something that we don't have a limit on what she can or can't eat or anything. If it's available, she'll eat it. If not, she won't. She still nurses several times a day, so I know she's getting plenty. She sleeps really pretty well at night, knock on wood. She only gets up once, maybe twice. She still has no teeth, so I'm sure that I'll not get the so sound sleeping when she starts getting those teeth. But I just joke that the amber teething necklace that she wears works that good that she doesn't have any teeth. Let's see what else. Oh, she has a temper like you would believe, or maybe you would if you do have a 1-year-old. She is fierce, man. You know, we don't believe in disciplining from across the room. Like, I'm not going to stand across the room and say, hey, get away from that, or hey, don't touch that, or hey, you know, I said quit messing with that. We're pretty hands-on, so in a nice way. You know, if she's got something she's not supposed to have, we'll go over to her, direct her to something else. But lately, she's just been going limp, because she'll see you coming and she knows that she's about to get moved to something else, and she'll just fall limp and start flailing. She hates it, but it works. She does pretty good with it. So, you know, we did it with our son, and it worked with him. So until she proves that we need to get more creative with the discipline, then we'll just continue along that route. Let's see what else. We went on vacation to Galveston, and she did really well. We left the day after her birthday. It was my husband's parents' 30th wedding anniversary, so they renewed their vows on the beach. And oh my god, there's a bunch of kids just getting out of this car and none of them have seatbelts on. Awesome. That's safe. Anyway, that's their business. That's not my kid. That was really fun. Paisley loved the water instantly. Carson developed a love for the water, but he didn't love it at first. He could have sat and played in the sand for hours and hours and hours. He absolutely loved it. And Paisley loved it. But what we didn't know is that she was getting sick the whole time we were down there. She started running a fever the day we left, but she also kind of had a snotty nose, so I just kind of thought, you know, maybe she's getting a little cold, maybe it's allergies, you know, so plus she felt she was okay being on the Motrin. So we just kind of left it, watched her, of course. She only kind of acted weird when she wasn't on anything. My husband asked me if I want to come out there. No way, it's 101 degrees. Any minute. I'll be out there in a minute. He's probably hot. Sorry. I don't want to come out there. It's too hot. No, you go. I'm sitting in the air-conditioned car. Begging me to come out. Enjoy. Okay, sorry. That's all crooked. Okay, anyway, so the day we drive back, she's still okay. There's nothing for me to be alarmed of. Let me check my time real fast. Okay, I got maybe enough time to tell the story. Might have to be in the next part. We drive back and she's fine. We make plans with Lucy and Jenny to meet up with them the next day since we were back in town now. And that was all good. We were going to meet up with them the next day and everything was going to be fine. My husband just took the day off work because he wanted to go with us. And we go to sleep that night. She has a decent night. Nothing to be alarmed of. I mean, there really was nothing dramatic happening to her. The next morning, we get up and first of all, she has this nasty, gross poo-poo diaper, which she doesn't poop in the middle of the night anymore and hasn't since she was like a baby, tiny baby. So that kind of caught me off guard. So, you know, when she woke up, I smelt it and we were laying there, I was talking to her and then I kind of smelt it and I was like, ooh, let me get you up and change you. She was in a fine mood and then when I went to pick her up out of our bed, she started screaming, like shaking and just freaking out. I was like, scared me. I called my husband. I was like, get up, she's freaking out. I don't know what to do. So I laid her back down on the floor to take her out to the living room. You know, I took her out to the living room, laid her on the floor, changed her diaper. And she was okay when I laid her down. I went to wipe her poo-poo away and she started freaking out again. So I knew something was wrong. Well, sure enough, there was this really hard, swollen mass on her hiney. Probably as big, I mean it was really big and I'm not exaggerating, it was probably like this. So it freaked out. I mean I cleaned her up as best as she would let me. She was in a lot of pain. And everybody got dressed and we went straight to the ER. Sure enough, it was an infected mass. They called it an abscess. That's all they would tell me. Of course, they had to run labs on it and stuff like that. But we got to the ER and they drained it and sent me home with some antibiotics. That was not fun. She was running really high fever. Well, really high for me. I've never had her run more than like a 101 and she was at 102.8. And it was just, she was miserable and ugh, you never like to see your kid sick. So, let me check my time again because this is a long story so I might have to do, yeah, I'm going to have to do this next part in the second part. So, anyway, I'll tell you more about the ER trip in the next part.